Good afternoon, everybody. DJ Styles. Look, I'm going to reiterate a little bit on how I'm going to hair from this point forward, because I don't want to waste a lot of hair. Hair is a very expensive process, and it costs a lot of money to get the hair. Well, this is the stuff that I dyed the other day. Was it yesterday? Might have been yesterday. Yeah. Anyway, sitting down, and the reason why I wanted the hair darkened and I dyed it darker, and I have the black versus the brown, is because they originally in this 1978 film spray painted the hair black, misted it. So what I'm trying to create is a misting of the hair, only with actual dyed hair. So this way you don't get your fingers in the black spray paint and get it all over the mask, because that's how the mask got dirty in the first place, was because they spray painted the hair and a lot of that paint would come off. And in Halloween 2, the paint actually came off, dirtied the mask quite a bit, and some aging process with the latex made it change a little bit yellow. And I'm talking about Halloween 2, 1981. Okay, so as you can see, this is semi-translucent. I'm not putting a lot of hair on here, but here's the trick to create the illusion of that misting. Now I'm going to put this down where I'm going to actually put that bead of latex on the tip, and I'm going to take a little strand of this, not much, just very little, and I'm going to spread that out so it's almost paper thin. All right. And I'm going to lay that right over top of this to create the illusion that there's a little bit of paint on the brown. Take a look at that. What do you think, guys? It looks pretty close to me. Now, the only time I use the tacky glue is on the hairline. And I'm going to do it a little different this time around, because I didn't like the way the first one turned out, my hair job, and partially because it was too much hair, and partially because of the way I did the line. And I pulled everything forward and then tucked it back on itself, and I think I'm going to do just the opposite this time. So I put a little latex bead right on the end, and I'm sorry, popsicle sticks are a waste of time. You really need to get that latex embedded into those strands on the very tip. So I'm sorry, latex comes off real easy on your finger. It just literally, it dries in seconds on your body because of your heat, and it just rolls right off your finger. So, you know, now I didn't put a bead on here of latex yet. That ain't no big deal. Now what I'm doing is I'll put a bead right where my line is, going across. I'm doing the process a little slower. Yeah, I can do the whole thing across and end up not. And now I'm pulling that line up into the next. All right. Now you take this and you put it right on that line. Pull it up into the next row. And by doing this, you won't see any white from the mask underneath as I'm going up. And like I said, the latex comes right off your finger. Look at that, it's already like turning to rubber, and it just peels right off. You don't really need to worry about that. I don't even have any latex on my fingers right now. So that's cool. And I'm using a piece of acrylic to do the job, because once you're done, the latex peels right off the acrylic too, once you're done doing all this stuff, and you got a clean slate to work with next time around. So latex won't stick to anything that's not too abrasive. If it's super smooth, it'll definitely peel right off. So I'm going to move on to the next I'm trying to keep this video so you can see it. All right, so you know, I'm going to give this a little bit more and then I'll mash it down into here a little bit, and then I'll pull it up into the next line. This way the next layer across here will adhere to that latex that's there. But I gotta move a little faster because I don't want that to dry. So I'm gonna make sure there's nothing on my fingers first. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna pull some hair out of here like that. And I shorten my strands. My hair follicles are basically about the length of my fingers, about 3.5 to 4 inches. I'm not making them too long in the back. Let me spread this out. I'm gonna move. Okay. Sometimes you get those little strands that aren't cooperating, so I pull them out. All right, push that down into this. Yeah, I had some latex that I picked up from the mat, or from the thing. Now I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of this hair here. I mean, ever so small pinch of this hair. I mean, you can see how thin that is. And then put just it's like a misting of black over the hair. It's very cool effect. It just gives it that little bit of mist. So this way, it wants to pull up. It won't after this. All right. And you really mash that into that latex, into the very tips. You don't want too much. You don't want too much of your hair being used up. And I pull it away ever so carefully. And we are going to put it down along that line and make sure we're still going in the same direction. Oh yeah. And see how that black is streaking in there now? It looks like somebody spray painted it. It looks pretty good. I think it looks awesome. It's going to look really good when it's done. So I think I'll put this on high speed now. It basically showed you what I'm doing, and I'll do the high speed filming from this point forward. I think I can do that right from my phone. Let me see if I can change that setting so this way it's recording in high speed. So you can watch the process in high speed. All right, so how do I do this? I guess I have no choice but to stop the film